friends. Here is a look. This is an unboxing at the Lily Stone Marseille. This is a new limited edition indie Marseille deck. This is 101 of 450. And it is by the Lily Stone Quarry. So I have not looked at this yet. It came in a bit ago. It was in an envelope that shipped to me, but then this was the box inside the envelope, and then I opened it enough to sort of see that there's another box inside, so excuse me. So I'll open it up. So this is a Marseille deck, meaning that it will probably be a relatively quick video. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited about this in part because it gives me another excuse to mention the Marseille class that I created for the Tarot Readers Academy. And you can find it in the link below. And you can register for the whole summer. You can register for just my class, but if you register for the whole summer, it's a better deal and you get lifetime access to all the classes. If you register for just my class, you get lifetime access for my class. I have to tell you, the feedback has, I'm not a big person to pat myself on the back, but folks have started to say, if you go to the Tarot Readers Academy Facebook page, you can see this. Folks have been really positive about it, and they have said, look, my readings are getting much clearer. The feedback from my querents has been really great. Getting much more specificity out of my readings doing the system, and so people are really liking it. So I'm just going to plug my class because I can. But now we're going to look at the Stone Marseille Tarot by Lily Stone. So again, limited edition deck. There are 450. This is 101. It comes in our favorite kind of magnetic box. And, ooh, I think I am loving it already. So, great box. This is the Stone Tarot 2019. And, ooh, I didn't know it had this kind of like charming sort of black-blue edging. Reminds me of my This Might Hurt Tarot, which I love. So, loving the cardstock. It's just that kind of delicious matte, but not sticky matte. So, let's see. It says about this tarot. After collecting tarot more than 1,800 decks over 40 years, the Stone Marseille became my second interpretation of the 78 traditionally structured pictures. This deck derives from the beautiful work of the Nicholas Conver, circa 1760. His technique was very much affected by the rudimentary printing process of his day. I lovingly renewed his marvelous artwork with a Cintiq pen pad and many weeks of meticulous redrawing. February 2019. So the Conver deck is kind of the standard in many ways for Marseille readers. It sort of is that kind of bridge between the early Marseille decks, such as the Jean Noblet, and the later ones. It's the one that Yoav Bendov used as the basis for the CPD. It's also the one that Jodorowsky used, but I don't like him or his deck. It's 2020, we just say what we think. And there's many different editions of it. This is, what you're seeing here is a beautiful edition. It's all got this sort of dark midnight blue background and these rich, rich tones. And a Cintiq pen pad is a digital drawing tool. You can see reviews of them actually on YouTube. But what I enjoy about this particular artwork is that it allows an artist to create something that looks very handmade, even though it's digital artwork. So it's a Marseille deck. It's based on the Conver. If you're familiar with that, this will be familiar to you in many ways. But this is very, very sexy. And I love the dark background. So let's just walk through it. So here's the Fool, La Mat. Here's the Magician. The Batailleur actually means juggler. So the Magician's an interesting card. And yeah, you can find more about that in my class. Here's the Papess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Pope, the Lover, the Chariot. It's just the way the dark background makes the colors sort of pop in all this richness that I think is so, so great. And I really like this cardstock so much. And it's a nice size. I have to say it's smaller than a traditional tarot card, but not as small as, say, the Jean Noblet, which is almost playing card size. So it fits really nicely, and so it'll be really easy to do large spreads with this. And just the richness of blue, just these blues are so beautiful. So what I was sort of excited about when I saw this was just that richness of the dark blue background, and now knowing this sort of like edging is there. It's a little, on the lighting on the camera makes it look a little tackier than it does in real life, I should say. There's Temperance. What I would love for, for any artists out there, what I would absolutely love is a Marseille that sort of took the Tarot de Marseille structure and even the kind of wonky art style, but used it to reflect a population that looked like the world today, so that it was representational. And I know that like the angry Karens out there are going to tell me like, this is an old French deck, it should be, but I don't fucking care about that. Like, I have plenty of old French decks, and what I would love is a Marseille that had the flavor of that handmade, hand-cut art quality, but that looked like the world today. So any artists out there who've like got that talent, I'll write the guidebook for you. I'll work with you. Seriously, but like, I would love a Marseille that looked like the world does today. There's kind of a dimensionality to the quality of the card. It really does look like it was done with colored pencils on paper, which is something that I like. So, I'm not really telling you the names because you can see what cards they are. I just love the way the colors pop out of this dark background. Ugh. It's like, I know folks love borderless cards, and I love a borderless card myself, but what I really love is a dark border like this. And then that dark background is like, pow. It's like, Bob Ross used to do these black canvases, and it would just make the lighting look that much more sparkly. When you start with these like rich dark navies, it just lets all the other colors kind of become more vibrant. And I just love it. So in the minors, I'm going to say I'm seeing already the style changes kind of dramatically. So while these have these very sort of pencil quality to the art, this is much more like digital. It's very flat, which I don't like as much. I still love the colors, and I know that, making a Marseille deck is kind of a repetitive experience. This just disappoints me a little bit because, I love the quality of the majors, and obviously a lot went into the trumps. This just sort of feels a little less loving. Having come from the trumps and now seeing this, it doesn't feel like the same deck. The color choices are still great. It's still beautiful. But it doesn't pop in the same way because it's flat. We've been treated to the kind of dimensionality of shadow and texture, and this is just straight up flat. So, a little disappointed by that, I have to say. I didn't sort of know that that's how it worked. I guess I should have gathered by the back. I don't love the back either because it's just the ace of coins, so I'm a little kind of disappointed by that as a thing, to be honest. Oh, it's not the Ace of Coins. Well, all right. It looks like the Ace of Coins. All right, I forgive that. So I'm curious about the courts. Do they go to the sort of richer? They do. So I'm glad that they do. I just wish that the minors did. That disappoints me. I still like it a lot. I just feel like, oh, we're exposed to like this texture, and then it's like, wah wah. The pips are as important to me as the rest of the deck. And I know that most people in a Marseille deck are like, oh, the pips are boring. But when you look at a traditional sort of time-specific Marseille deck, they were treated the same way as the Tron. I mean, they were all kind of messy. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I made the point. I wish they had the same feel as the courts and the majors, but it's still, you know, it's still a pretty deck, and I like the color scheme for sure, but a little disappointed. So I'm just going to go through really quickly. I mean, it is the converse, so the order is the same. The structure is the same. So here we have the page, the knight, queen, king, and then the swords. I'm excited to shuffle this because I feel like it's going to shuffle really nicely. I just like the tip of the sword to be pointing up. Oh, I'm so messy. And so finally batons. There is always with that edging sort of a sticky, not sticky, but they get stuck together a little bit. You have to separate them a bit. There's the ballet, the cavalier, chevalier, the queen, and the king. All right, so let's zoom out. I want to shuffle, lay them out. Oh, I'm a little bummed by that treatment of the pips, but you know, nothing's perfect. Clearly, this shuffle's great. I mean, this is great cardstock. It actually reminds me a bit of the cardstock in the This Might Hurt as well. I wonder if it's the same printer. I really like the size a lot. This shuffles so well. Some of these cards I've got backwards. Alright, let's lay them out. I wonder if I can do 13. Probably not. It does look really good, and I'll say, you know, in a layout, sort of from the distance I'm not that distracted by how differently the art style is for the pips. It's kind of the one bummer with this deck, outside of anything else. So, but I think it's beautiful. I love this color scheme a lot. I think it's unusual. you know, it's deceptive. I'm looking at the box, and the coin on the box definitely has that same feel. So, but, you know, it is what it is. It's fine. It's good. I like it just fine. So, you know, nothing's perfect. Again, that was the Stone Marseille Tarot by Lily Stone. It's available now. It is a indie limited edition. And that's that. So take care, be well, stay healthy, stay safe, stay actioned and motivated, and we'll talk soon.